High ticket affiliate marketing success. Why is it that some people seem to blast straight out of the gates, absolutely dominate their online goals and grow their business in pretty rapid succession? And from an external perspective, it almost seems like these people don't have any setbacks, they don't have any mindset issues. So what's the difference between those people and perhaps people like myself, where it took 7.5+ years before anything actually took off? How's it going, guys? It's Jamie here. Today's video is all about an amazing interview that we hosted inside the Super Affiliate Accelerator today, which was with a gentleman by the name of Brian McCartan. He's actually one of our students. Super cool dude. He's actually a full-time dentist. Hopefully you don't mind me releasing your name publicly, man. But basically, Brian started with us in July 2021. He had a very ambitious goal with the online business model, and what was really fascinating about Brian is that within the first 2 weeks of him joining our program, he made his first high ticket sale. In fact, he actually made 2 high ticket sales, so it was around about $3,000 US. And he's gone on to do some pretty incredible things, and that is growing at a great rate of knots in a very, very short space of time. And so one of the things that came up in the actual interview itself, and one of the things that I'm attempting to address here on this video, is why is it that people like him seem to shoot straight out of the gates and others tend to get stuck in the weeds? They get stuck in the trenches, never really go anywhere, and perhaps end up as another statistic, or if they do stick around like I did, then it just takes them a long time to get that sort of traction. So before I go ahead though, if this is the first time here, I'd like to say a very warm welcome to you. My name is Jamie. I'm a full-time affiliate marketer, also a coach for a program. We've got over 680-ish students at the time of recording, absolutely crushing it with their affiliate marketing business. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about how I might be able to help you out, I have a free Facebook community, and it's pretty vibrant, pretty cool stuff. I've got a lot of content in there that's going to help you out in terms of your business, and you can feel free to click the link below this to go check that out. And of course, if you get any guidance or advice from this particular video, feel free to hit the subscribe button as well. So it's about as fancy as my editing is going to get, so have to bear with me if you stick around. Anyway, so like I say, Brian shot out of the gates, had an incredible online career so far, and he has an incredibly bright future ahead of him, as you can imagine. Now, what I will say about him is he's a go-getter. He has a very limited amount of time every day. As a family, he's got around about 2 to 3 hours every day to work on his business. So for him to be able to achieve what he has, well in excess of 10 to 15K per month now, 6-7 months down the track, it's pretty phenomenal. Like I say, the question I'm attempting to answer in this particular video though is, by contrast, myself, it took me about 7 to 7.5 years before I hit my first $1,000 a day, and I was fortunate that something triggered something in my head. I was able to hit another one the very next day, and I went on to have my first 10K month. But like I say, and obviously that's kind of blown up a little bit since then as well, but I guess the point I'm trying to make is that there's 2 very distinct pathways, and obviously I can't speak on behalf of Brian, can't speak on behalf of any of the students that I'm privileged to be able to help along the way. But what I can talk about is my own journey, and perhaps some of the things that I've noticed within my own journey that you might resonate with as well. So first and foremost, why did it take me so long to get any traction? Well, yeah, really good question. I guess number one is I failed to focus. I was not focused on one singular pathway for very long, and the ironic thing is that when I did finally get that focus, amazing things happened in a very, very rapid succession. And to paint some context around that, it took me, like I say, I hit my first 1K day late 2019, and it was actually a 7-day time frame. So yes, I had a bit of momentum. I had this YouTube channel. I had a couple of other online assets. My Facebook group at that time was around about 400 to 500 people, if I'm not mistaken. And so therefore it wasn't like I had a huge audience by any stretch of the imagination. But within 7 days of me implementing, staying focused with this pathway, I hit my first 1K day, hit my next day, first 10K month. In a 2-year time frame, so 400, and actually it's less than that, 465 days from my 1K day, as part of the team for Super Affiliate Accelerator, we were able to hit the $1 million mark, which I won the award for with Jacob Karras and Chris Donnelly. Now, I'll confess I didn't earn $1 million myself. In fact, it's not even my program, it's Jacob's program. I'm very fortunate to just come along for the ride, really. But the point being is that I went from not doing anything for years, and then all of a sudden I built that momentum and I flexed that momentum, kept rolling that through to the point where I'm sitting at sort of between 20 and 40K per month at the moment. That is certainly going to grow quite significantly in 2022 and beyond. So you could argue that I've technically only had 2 to 3 years of successful business in the affiliate marketing space and coaching, all that type of stuff. But the reality is that it actually took me a decade to get there, right? And so that 2-year time frame of me just focusing is when things really, really started to blow up. Okay, so that's number one, is you got to be focused, and that's why things didn't work for me to start with. Next thing is, this is a real cliche. It's a real cliche. You probably heard it a bunch of times yourself. And cliches are true for a reason, because they're f***ing true. That's why. So one of the cliches is, you need to expand your mindset. You need to work on your mindset. Now, if you had circled back to me 2011 when I got started and said, Jamie, all these tactics, they're going to make you a ton of cash, but you need to work on your mindset first, I would have gone, no way, no thanks. Just look, I need a couple $100 a day, and look, once I get that, then I'll start working on my mindset. And that was my attitude, ignorantly, I must confess. And it was a lot of it to do with my ego. I didn't want to address that stuff because it's hard to have to be introspective to where you are in your own life. And so therefore I ignored that advice, and the results didn't show as a result of me ignoring this advice, right? And so when I say mindset, just to kind of, I guess, dive into that a little bit as well, not to spend too much time here, but just to give some context, is I'm talking about things like your sense of self-worth. It's very, very hard to attract abundance and attract opportunities if you have a low sense of self-worth, and a lot of us do. We carry that throughout our childhoods right into adult life. It's something that I definitely needed to address myself. Also talking about your ability to just concentrate, focus, like I say. We're so distracted by the mismatch in expectations versus reality in the online space that a lot of the time we're just like floating around, just buying all sorts of random stuff, whether or not it actually helps us. Now, to throw a little caveat on that one, I actually invest in myself more than I ever have. But even if there's no immediate ROI on that investment, I know that it's going to pay off over time, whether it is a development of my mindset, or it is a new skill set, or a new framework that I'm trying to adapt into my business. That's how I view things, but only if it aligns with where I'm taking my business. Whereas beforehand, that lack of focus, I just buy some of that and get some of that, and there's some information over there, and buy that thing, and that looks interesting, and that's coming back to mindset. It really was to do with focus, right? And also the lowering of the expectation. The other thing I'd like to point out as well is, and this can be a very hard thing to understand and accept when you have things like debt, and when you have a lower income, and when you're struggling to pay your bills every day. But there is ample opportunity out there, abso-freaking-lutely everywhere. There really, really is. And you need to start seeing that around you. And if you can't see it within yourself, start to look for it externally. Look for examples in your family. And if you don't have that within your family, look externally for people in the public eye, perhaps, or people that you may know, or your friends that just seem to be successful. You don't know why, but they do stuff and they just seem to be successful. Have a look at what they do, the behavior, and more importantly, how they actually communicate with themselves. Okay, if you can start to see or hear the way that they communicate with themselves, and adapt some of these patterns within your own mind and your own language patterns, things like that, start talking differently about yourself. You start exuding a different energy, and people can pick up on that, right? So that's mindset stuff. I could spend today and forever on it because it's such an important topic. So focus and mindset, those are two big things. And the other one is, and this really ties into focus as well, is you actually only need one process, right? You don't need a dozen different processes. Now, what I'm going to say is something which I've mentioned on this channel a couple of times, and I say it with a sense of irony because, I've won awards for being part of a team that's won the ClickFunnels 2 Common Club Award, which is awesome. But you don't need funnels to get started. You don't need email marketing to get started. You don't need every single social media platform out there to get started. And again, tying it back to focus, what you do need is a way to get in front of people. That's first and foremost. You need an offer that you really believe in, that you believe can help people out. And you need a way to convert people that are watching your content into buyers of whatever it is that you're promoting, right? And those are the three things, realistically. Don't need much else. Now, you could be quite simply just here on YouTube or a podcast or whatever, wherever you're tuning in from, or you could be over on likes of Facebook, where I do the bulk of my business is over on Facebook, or you could be on Twitter or Pinterest or TikTok or Instagram or Snapchat or LinkedIn, or just rely on good old-fashioned email marketing. But what I would encourage you to do is stick to just one to start with, right? Just one. That's all you need, is just one method to build an audience to start with. And of course, what you can do is start to diversify it down the track. You don't have to get stuck in that one place, right? You can go and look at other social media platforms, other traffic sources eventually. And what tends to happen is in the affiliate space, which again, I'm going to tie it back to focus again, but in the affiliate marketing space in general, what you'll find is that the sales pitch is often, you need a funnel, you need a website, and you need email marketing, you need all this stuff. And so therefore you start to believe that, you go and invest in all this stuff that you think you need, which, by the way, yes, super important parts of your business at some stage. I'm not denying that. I'm not saying don't, if you're building an email list, like stop all of a sudden because Jamie told you to. No, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that don't rely solely on what people are telling you. And the reason why this is such a huge thing for people to understand is, if you're like me, you've spent months/years learning a lot of this stuff. You go out there and you learn your funnel technology and you how to glue this part onto it, and then you've got your email things over here and the stuff over there and the thing. And then 6 months have gone by, and realistically, you got this really fancy looking website/funnel/whatever, and you don't really know how to tweak it. You don't really know why it's not converting. You don't really know why your email open rates have plummeted. You don't really know why no one's actually clicking on those links and buying your stuff. It might be as simple as you just don't have enough volume. It could be as complex as the color schemes and the headline and the subject lines in your emails all suck, right? You don't know. And so therefore, this is why it's cyclical. A lot of people feel like this. They'll go through this process of learning this stuff, but those things there aren't necessarily revenue producing activities in your business, right? So keep life really, really simple for yourself. This is something that we teach inside the Super Affiliate Accelerator. Like I say, I'll leave a link below. You can check out my free group and we can have a chat if that's of interest to yourself as well. But the thing is that when you remove those layers of complexity and you remove the need for it to be complex, and you focus on really, really simple things like one platform, one product, one method of conversion, you're not jumping around from like having a nice funnel one week to jumping into Messenger the next, and then Google Docs the next, and then I don't know, whatever else the next. Like, stick with one, become proficient at it. You don't have to master it even, you just become proficient at it until you start stacking up a few results. And then when you start to stack up a few results, you might want to add some automations on top, but you've got the mental freedom in order to know, well, okay, I'm confident now to go onto a social media platform to build an audience, to help that audience out with things that they're struggling with, to sell to them in a way that is congruent with who I am. So cool, I've got a bit of extra time, I've got a bit of extra confidence, I might chuck a funnel on top now. Cool, okay, well I can automate that process and start capturing more leads. So therefore maybe you then start to look at ads, right? But at least you have so much more confidence in what you're doing because you've started small, you've given proof of concept to yourself, you've snowballed some of those results to the next things, you've added layers to your business as you go through till eventually you can blow up, and when you do blow up, you tend to blow up in pretty quick succession as well, right? So those are kind of the big things. Now, there was a lot more that we did discuss inside this particular interview, and like I say, it was a pretty damn good one. One other thing that I think is really, really important that kind of doesn't really get spoken about that much is this video is not going to get many views. It's not going to rank all that high. And what you'll find is if you're typing into YouTube right now, how to make money with affiliate marketing or affiliate marketing, blah, 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 you'll get some affiliates. You'll get some people that are good affiliates and are doing exceptionally well. And kudos to them. However, what a lot of people do is they sell the idea that you need this complex stuff, right? And I'm not criticizing anyone in particular or any of the search results out there for that matter. What I am going to tell you guys is when you focus on the things that will not change, human psychology, does not change that easily, right? It might evolve over a few hundred years, but it's not going to change just like that, right? So when you focus on these things, like how to craft an offer that resonates with your ideal audience, how to sell stuff, how to market yourself and market your brand, build a brand, and how to, what else did I say? Branding, marketing, offer creation, sales. Yeah, that'll do for the start. Oh, copywriting, there you go. That's, you know, if you can understand the power in writing something that takes people that are looking at it and turns them into buyers of your products, you can create your own income off the back of that. Especially if you know the components, get eyeballs on the thing, and then convert those folks into, yeah, awesome, okay, that's pretty cool. And so therefore, if you learn those things, it doesn't matter what platform you're on, it doesn't matter where you take this stuff, it doesn't matter if you stay in affiliate marketing or you transcend affiliate marketing, you get into agency stuff, or you get into, I don't know, e-commerce even, or you get into coaching or product development, all that stuff. Or you take these skills and you use them offline for a different business. You need to understand these things. They're all steeped in human psychology, like I say. And when you learn these from a foundational, fundamental basis, it doesn't change. It doesn't matter what tactics you use. It doesn't matter how fancy the funnel is, or the new technology that's just out that's going to do the thing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because you understand why people are converting. You understand why people are watching your content. You understand why people want to buy certain things, right? Anyway, this has kind of been a funny little rant there. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. If you're interested in keeping up to date with what I'm doing, like I say, this is a pretty no-frills channel, but I'd love to have you along for the ride. Feel free to hit that like button, drop a comment, let me know if there's anything you'd like to learn here. This is me just documenting the last 10 plus years I've been online and marketing and sales, all that type of stuff. And last but not least, feel free to check out my free group below, and love to see you on the inside. Anyway, my name is Jamie Gardiner. I hope you got some value out of this video today, and look forward to catching up with you guys in the next one. Thanks very much.